hear and experience when I'm spending time with you that, I mean, you really have transformed your life, your mindset, your experience. And so I want you to take us through that a little bit more in the context of, we all have our own definition of ultimate success. And that what I believe when it comes to enduring success, true success. Will you tell us a little bit about what does enduring success mean to you now? Or then
Uh,
and
ha,
now?
well, actually, I'll do both because it's a great question. Because the key word is enduring. Because now I have enduring success, and we'll get into that. But prior to that, my definition of success was just money, trying to make money, and it's not. And if you're trying to make money just for that and for the material things, even the people who do that, they're not happy. And I don't want that. I'd like to have money, of course we all would, but that's not the end all be all. And it took me getting this disease um, to realize what I now have enduring success is what I'm doing right now and what I'm going to continue doing. What it took this disease and struggling until I found meditation and Dr. Joe Dispenza, and it changed my life. And I don't push it on people because, but if they ask me about it, I'm going to talk a lot. And luckily, I'm having more and more people who want to like hear. I'm like, yes, let's talk. And I hope it happens more, but it's just, and it keeps getting better because it was initially I'd never done it before. I didn't know what I was doing. I watched some videos and I watched some online courses, but until I went and saw Dr. Joe on an event in person in Cancun, Mexico, floored me, absolutely floored me, changed my life. That was the impetus for me to start my podcast because I felt so good, and people would ask me about it, and they were like, "Wow, you should write a book. That's pretty inspiring." I'm like, well, I'm going to do a podcast, and I've always done things sort of unfortunately half-assed in my life, but this is one thing I couldn't stop thinking about. I've got to do this, and I did it, and it's really kind of shocking to think that. But then once I started that, there was a lot of episodes, so I was not feeling good, but I made myself do it, and then by the end of the episode, I felt better, and even people would text and notice, and even the guys producing, like, "Boy, you start off not so good, and by the end, you were a different person." I'm like, "Yes, this is healing. It's so therapeutic, and to continue to do that, I think that's a big part of having a purpose now in doing this and helping others. I was doing it first to tell my story to help heal myself, but then the responses I got were amazing. Others were saying it's inspiring and helping them, and then that became the main feeling I wanted, and that's enduring success is giving back and helping others, and just constantly getting feedback after every episode. It just is driving me now, and I'm just excited for the future to keep doing this, and I don't ever want to stop.
Tell me a little bit more about when you went through the process of meditating. I heard you articulate to me how I don't even know if these are the right words, but how all of a sudden you were like more alive, and maybe that's the bad term to use, but like,
No, I was,
how you were feeling emotionally, physically, spiritually, and the acknowledgement that that is what success is. I totally want my audience to hear this a little bit more about the process of you choosing to meditate.
yeah, it was, it's a long one, but I'll try and get to the high points. You know, last summer was, probably the worst I had felt. And ended up getting pneumonia, going to the hospital. I had some other issues where I thought I was done. I had given up. But prior to getting that sick, I had seen Dr. Joe on his website, Transformation Stories, which I recommend anyone go on and just watch those. So they'll make you cry. It's so inspiring. And I remember seeing that and watching the videos and telling my wife, I'm like, I was bawling. I'm like, you got to see this. And she looked at it. She's like, oh, that's nice, but if it's making you cry, then why you stop watching him? I'm like, no, it's inspiring. I need to go see him. So I signed up for the event in Mexico, and then I got sick. I wish I had meditation to get through that, but I guess things happen for a reason. Because once I finally got through it, and I started meditating on my own, so I started feeling a little bit better. And I didn't know what I was doing. I had no clue, but I had some idea because I watched his videos and online courses. So, but at basics, I didn't know what energy centers were. I'd never done yoga, so I just would close my eyes and breathe and just try and relax and each part of my body. And when I did that, I noticed a little bit. I'm like, huh, I feel a little better. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes a while, but if you commit to it, it will change your life. And so that month, I was doing a little bit and feeling better. And then I did the online class again right in the weekend prior to going to Cancun. And it really resonated the second time I listened to it, and I sort of things clicked. But when I got to the event, it's different. It's weird. Uh, I loved it. When I first got down to the event in Mexico, the first night, and it's different. Again, cultish. People are singing, dancing. I was just like, yeah, take it easy. And then Tuesday was the first full day, and these days are intense. I was up at 6 a.m. every day, and then one morning it was 4 a.m. Okay, I don't usually get out of bed before noon, so it was, I thought it'd be difficult, but it wasn't. I was so excited to be there. And the first day was very difficult to learn about the energy centers. I know what they were and how to properly breathe to get yourself into the quantum field to get ready to really get deep. And I struggled all day trying to figure out the energy centers and the breathing. And then that night, uh, something clicked, and I felt this. It was beautiful, this aura of energy surrounding my body, and it was awesome. But the and earlier that day too, I like to tell people because I was struggling, but Dr. Joe had 10 experienced meditators up on the stage, and he's like, "Okay, They've been doing this for a while. They're very good at it, and we're gonna. Don't be alarmed. They're gonna all each get into the zone their own way." So he played music, and everyone just sat and watched, and people started convulsing, and I'm like, "Okay, what am I doing here? This is awkward." And but at that point, that's when I finally said, "Okay, you know what? I'm here. I got nothing else to do." I surrendered and said, "Let's just receive it, bring it all in." And I did, and then I clicked that night, and then the next few days I was getting better. 2 days later, I'm convulsing just like these people were, and it was so happy, and I was up dancing, and I'm like, acting like an idiot, but it was fun. There's just so much happiness and love. It takes over you, and so I finished that. The week was just insane how good it was. I was a different person, and then I came back again. That's when I couldn't stop talking about it, and I started the podcast and kept talking about it. And every day, I meditate every single day, 2 or 3 hours in the morning, usually half an hour to an hour late afternoon, and then 2 to 3 hours at night. And I never miss it.
Okay, hold on to that. Hold on to that, because I am totally going to take us back
Okay.
there in a minute, because you are going to continue to confirm some of my feelings here in a minute. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Choose and Become interview series. To check out more episodes, go to www.trishkendall.com/podcast, or go to any of your favorite podcast channels, including YouTube, under Trish Kendall Speaks, and you'll find this interview and more. Choose and become.